So the Armory update finally got all of its items tradable, and things have absolutely blown out of the water way more than anybody could expect. The gallery case is currently $5. It started out at a buck 24. Over 10 grand of them sold, and that's been going on the whole day. There's clearly way more demand than there is supply, so we're already at $5 here. Is this gonna last? No, but let's get into it. If you want to sell your CS skins for fair value instantly, check out skin.place. They're a site I use myself, and it's literally instant money, the easiest way to sell CS skins. Not only that, they're currently having their 1-year anniversary with free skins and a crazy PC giveaway. Just log in daily with that link at the top of the description and select your daily claim. You could also earn more coins by completing easy missions like inviting friends or selling skins. Then get your prize at the Skin Place shop, where there's tons of different options. Once again, use my code at the top of the description, cash out for PayPal, bank transfer, and crypto today, and get the actual value for your CS skins. Another thing I want to mention is that there is currently 71,000 of these deagles in existence. That is way more than I personally expected by an absolute long shot, and they are fairly cheap already. Also, another thing is that with these deagles, somehow there was only 20,000 of them listed on CSGO Float literally 18 hours ago, and now there's 71,000. I don't know how that happened, but it's crazy. Either way, there's 1,756 blue gems out of the 20,000 from yesterday. So it's about an 8.5% chance to get a blue gem. Costs $10 per deagle since stars are about 40, well, they are exactly 40 cents each, which is around $118 spent for each blue gem. So they shouldn't be worth more than that, really. Obviously, with the insane demand right now and the fact that only a few of these technically are tradable, they're going to be selling for a lot more. But don't let that hype technically carry you away, because once a lot more become tradable, then that price is going to come crashing down, or it should at least. Another thing I want to mention is the price of charms right now. The baby carrot tea, $100, which is pretty crazy. 85, 71, even 24 for the pink, stuff like that. It varies a lot depending on the pinks. And obviously, once again, a lot of these aren't tradable right now. Let's look at the Steam market. So yeah, here we go. We could sort by quantity on the Steam market. There's only 18 of these little crasses on the Steam market, and obviously less of everything else. There's legitimately barely anything. But I think this shows, just for starters, who is listing this for 1,600? This shows, just for starters, how little of these there are in existence right now, and how little people are just holding on to them to sell them right away. There's a lot of demand for these items. There's a lot more players than we had with Operation Riptide, Broken Fang, all of that previous stuff in the past. And even though this is an operation, there's a lot of new, items that came with it. And not to mention, there's a lot of buy orders for these items. We could actually check them. There's plenty of buy orders in the $25 range already just one day in. So there is demand for these items. They aren't going to stay at these prices, though. So my thought process on what's going to happen from here, obviously with the gallery case being at $5, which is way, way, way too expensive for this case, and it will crash down in price. I think people are going to see this, and the people that haven't spent a lot of their stars yet, or any of them, are going to be starting to spend them on stuff like the gallery case. So obviously, that's going to still take a week, since a week from now, those are technically going to be tradable. But pretty much the gist of this is, as more time goes on, these things are going to get cheaper. And there's going to be some big influxes of selling, and that's going to get bought up. And I'll show you what I mean with the Operation Riptide case. With the Riptide case, we had this massive spike in price, very expensive the first day, somehow only half of what we're seeing right now, but very expensive the first day, dipped back down, and dipped to about 50 cents. I've covered this before, dipped to about 50 cents, and then blew up towards the end of the operation. But it's going to kind of reach a level it'll bounce around at. That for the Riptide case was like 50 to what, like 70 cents, give or take, a bit cheaper. And I think that's the main level. Maybe we'll see it stick around the dollar in about a week with the gallery case, because I mean, paying $5 for it doesn't even make sense. And there's not going to be a ton of people doing that a couple weeks from now, or however long it may be from now. Another thing I want to cover is, a lot of you guys were curious, how long is this Armory update going to be in the game? Obviously, we know the deagle is about 100 days. I think it was 103 days to start, but the rest of this doesn't have a time date. Now, the good thing is, one of the devs actually answered this question. Somebody sent in a question, I'll kind of give a brief synopsis. It said, "We are all confused about some wording in the Armory. On the deagle, it said limited edition item, but on the collection items, everything else, it does not say that. Does this imply that the collection items will stay unboxable via means other than pass stars after the Armory is over, or through future Armory pass stars, or that they would be available as cases that could be dropped in the weekly drops?" So, Here's what the devs responded. She actually emailed this to Gaben, but one of the CS2 developers responded as they could say here. They said, regarding your questions, the Deagle he treated is available for the duration shown on the title in the Armory. The Armory itself is not a limited time event, and Armory passes and stars do not have an expiration date. If the contents or rules of the Armory change, then we'll announce it publicly ahead of updating the Armory. So what that pretty much tells me is, kind of what we knew before. These items are probably going to get switched out eventually. It's not just going to be out of nowhere. The devs will tell us, but we literally don't know how long that's going to be. Personally, I'm guessing on it being like over 6 months because of how slow the dev team typically is. But if obviously they'll give us a warning as well, but that's a good reason to hold on to your stars in my personal opinion, because then we could finally get a good grip on demand, what people are buying, stuff like that, and then we could kind of figure out the best investment, because it's pretty hard to figure it out right now. It's pretty much just guessing. Personally, what I would say after this first day of everything being listed is charms. There seems to be a lot of demand for them, and if these get switched out in a few months, there's not going to be that much supply. Even though they're not consumable items, we could see with agent prices, which have absolutely blown up, by the way, that those aren't consumable items either, and they've done incredibly well. And the thing with these charms is, I have not seen any posts about it, at least, about the rare patterns with these things. We don't know how rare they are. With the AK, let me actually find it. With this AK here, it's one of the most sought after, if not the most sought after. You could get a sapphire or ruby pattern, you could get a gold one, so who knows what those prices are going to be like. They are technically pretty limited items, and these coverts are pretty rare as well. With a lot of people spending their stars clearly on the Deagle, this costs 25 stars, and there's 70,000 of them in existence. Lots of money spent there. 18,000 trade banned accounts, by the way, for 1 year after the XP, exploit. I don't think there's going to be a ton of supply out there, to be honest with you guys, when it comes to stuff like the charms, and if that demand keeps up with the case. Honestly, I would still say, even though the case is very blown out of the water right now, it's not going to be $5 in a week. If you want to make your money back for the stars, or for the pass rather, spend your money on cases and just sell them on the Steam market. You could honestly very easily just buy yourself another pass if you get 40 of these stars here. Spend them all on cases and then just you could probably buy yourself at least 2 more passes. Even in a week right now, I still think these cases are going to be like $1 each, because clearly there is a lot of demand for them. Though making these stars super limited, you could only get 5 passes, 100 cases total. That's pretty limited, I think, to be honest with you, compared to the demand we see in case unboxing numbers. So for now, I think the cases and the charms especially, are going to be one thing I'm heavily looking at. And if they crash in price, we'll see in a week where they at. I will be stocking up on those because I think they're great. Another thing nobody's talking about is these stickers. Let me actually check their supply on the market. And yeah, the elemental stickers are pretty much just as rare as the charms. The thing with these stickers, well, number one, they're consumable items, which makes me think they're technically going to be worth a lot too, even though they're only 1 star instead of 3. I seriously think these are going to have demand too, guys. Even the cheap ones. Once again, when it comes to stickers, the thing that kind of brought them up in price with past operations and the super limited ones that we only saw in game once, you can't get them again, is people crafting with them, like the Liquid Fire Hollow. Liquid Fire Hollow is $33 right now, only 95 of them on the market. Even the non-hollow is $145. So if you see these stickers cheap, I would be absolutely stocking up on them. Stickers that were once $1 in the game, I think these hit a peak of like 40 something. Yeah, they were well over $40 at one point. I don't think these people are going to be spending their stars on these stickers, especially with the hollows and stuff. But with the new crafting update, I think there is going to be a lot of demand for these in the long term. So these looks pretty cool. And charms, I think, are going to be the 2 main things right now. As for cases, if they hit that, I said 60 cents, but that low-key doesn't seem possible. But I'll wait at least a week. These items are going to be in-game for a while. If they hit that like 60-cent mark, I will be stocking up on them. Clearly, there is some demand for them. We'll see where that's at in a week or 2 from now, but if I had to rate top 3 things to buy, cases, if you can get them at a cheap price, charms, and then stickers. Those are like top 3. I don't know which one's going to be the best performing. I would literally be guessing if I had to say, but people are spending way too many stars on these collections and way too many stars on the Deagle at this point, and the supply is just too high. I didn't think that many people were going to be buying the Deagle. So those are the things I would focus on right now. Case, charms, stickers. So yeah, let me know. What do you guys think about this? If you think things are overpriced right now, because it is absolutely crazy what happened. So as for now, check out the sponsor, Skin Place, link at the top of the description. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.